What up everyone, today is HayBaleMan with another video. I'll try to be doing like 3 videos per week instead of like 1 or 2. So I'm gonna be doing some like reading because I've been scrolling through YouTube like I do with TikTok. And I found a storybook which was like 33k views, which posted 11 months ago. And it didn't even have that much subscribers when I saw it on the on Saturday or Sunday. I'm gonna be reading Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's around let's see, what is it again? Yeah, there's around 30 chapters, and I'm gonna be reading all 30. Chapter 1. Here comes Charlie. These 2 very old people are the father and mother of Mr. Bucket. Their names are Grandpa Joe and Grandma Joseph. I'll just be reading it and then I'll show you guys the picture. And these 2 very old people are the father and mother of Mrs. Bucket. Their names are Grandpa George and Grandma Georgina, right here. This is Mr. Bucket. This is Mrs. Bucket. Mr. and Mrs. Bucket have a small boy whose name is Charlie Bucket. This is Charlie. How do you do? And how do you do? And how do you do again? He is pleased to meet you. The whole family, the 6 grown-ups, count them, and little Charlie Bucket lived together in a small wooden house on the edge of a great town. See this small town and this great building? Great city. Here's a pathway and everything. The house wasn't nearly large enough for so many people, and life was extremely uncomfortable for them all. There were only 2 rooms in the place altogether, and there was only 1 bed. That's surprising. The bed was given to the 4 grandparents because they were so old and tired. They were so tired that they never got out of it. Grandpa Joe and Grandma Joseph on this side, Grandpa George and Grandma Georgina on this side. Oh my god, oh god. I got a question. How they're supposed to go to the toilet? That's weird. Mr. and Mrs. Bucket and little Charlie Bucket slept in the other room upon mattresses on the floor. In the summertime, this wasn't too bad, but in the winter, freezing cold draughts blew across the floor all night long, and it was awful. There wasn't any question of them being able to buy a better house or even 1 more bed to sleep in. They were far too poor for that. Mr. Bucket was the only person in the family with a job. Wow, that's kind of bad. He worked in a toothpaste factory, where he sat all day long at a bench and screwed the little caps on to the tops of the tubes of toothpaste. That's kind of... Try to say this. Tops of the tubes of toothpaste. Tops of the tube... Oh god. See here? Tops of the tubes of toothpaste. Say that 5 times very fast. Tops of the tubes of... Oh god, I lost. After the tubes had been filled, but a toothpaste cap screwer is never paid very much money, and poor Mr. Bucket, however hard he worked and however fast he screwed on the caps, he was never able to make enough to buy 1/2 of the thing that so large a family needs. What the hell? A fly was in my room. Whatever. There wasn't even enough money to buy proper food for them all. The only meals they could afford were bread and margarina for breakfast, boiled potatoes and cabbage for lunch, and cabbage soup for supper. Sundays were a bit better. They all looked forward to Sundays because then, although they had exactly the same, everyone was allowed a second helping. The buckets, of course. Mr. Bucket. No, wait. Let me clear my throat. The buckets, of course, didn't starve, but every one of them, the two old grandfathers, the two old grandmothers, Charlie's father, Charlie's mother, and especially little Charlie himself, went about from morning till night with a horrible empty feeling in their tummies. Charlie felt it worst of all, and though his father and mother often went without their own share of lunch or supper. God, I want to kill that fly. What was it again? Yeah, lunch or supper so that they could give it to him. It still wasn't nearly enough for a growing boy. He desperately wanted something more filling and satisfying than cabbage and cabbage soup. The one thing he longed for more than anything else was chocolate. I love chocolate. Oh no, I mean chocolate, because it's like all caps. Walking to the school in the mornings, Charlie could see great slabs of chocolate piles up high in the shop windows. And he would stop and stare and press his nose against the glass, his mouth watering like mad. Many times a day he would see other children taking bars of creamy chocolate out of their pockets and munching them greedily. That of course was pure torture. Only once a year on his birthday did Charlie Bucket ever got to taste a bit of chocolate. The whole family saved up their money for that special occasion. And when the great day arrived, Charlie was always presented with one small bar of chocolate to eat all by himself. And each time he received it on those marvelous birthday mornings, he would place it carefully in a small wooden box that he owned and treasure it as though it were a bar of solid gold. And for the next few days he would allow him only to look at it but never touch it. Then at last, when he could stand it no longer, he would peel off a tiny bit of chocolate. He would peel back a tiny bit of the paper wrappings at one corner and expose a tiny bit of chocolate, and then he would take a tiny nibble, just enough to allow the lovely sweet taste to spread out slowly over his tongue. The next day he would take another tiny nibble, and so on, and in this way Charlie would make his 6-penny bar of birthday chocolate last for more than a month. Wow, that's if I had a 6-penny dollar chocolate, a 6-penny that chocolate, it'll probably only take me like 5 seconds to put it all in my mouth and swallow it, because chocolates are amazing. And also in one of the pages, in this page, it said only once a year on his birthday did Charlie Bucket ever taste a bit of chocolate. The whole family saved money for it. How the hell did the whole family get money? Because Mr. Bucket was the only one working. How did they find like a 10-penny on the ground? And I have no idea. And Mr. Bucket could always get a better job. Why just a toothpaste factory? They might say it's close to his house, but he works all day. That means he works 8 hours straight. So that means he'll only take like 1 hour to get there and then 1 hour to get back for the toothpaste factory. Or he can just take 2 hours of walking, 2 hours of getting back, but getting like ×3 the amount of money. Oh my god. Or he can get a better job in it. I'm gonna finish off this page, then I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm not gonna do this page. This page is for tomorrow. Or maybe the day after. No, I'm gonna read from here to here to here for tomorrow. See ya! Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and tell your friends about it. See ya!